Should we do? Are we ready to do our favorite games of 2016?
Oh, is that now? I see that. That's now.
It could be now. I feel.
Okay, Cheapy, why don't you tell everyone about Forza?
Well, first we have to figure out the format.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why don't you tell everyone about Overwatch?
You're not. Look, the idea.
Can I have Forza? You take Overwatch.
You did this for the record, by the way. When I brought it up last year, this is what you did to me. So, so why don't you tell us about Forza and Overwatch?
First of all, we haven't.
Which one's better?
It's. I thought the format of this was going to be.
I've been waiting a year for this.
No, you haven't. You just remembered right now.
A year.
You just remembered
my revenge.
Now.
Yeah, I did just.
You didn't pick.
Still,
first of all, you've missed several of my games that are on my top list. Several.
Yeah. You gonna spoil another? You're gonna spoil the ending of one of your favorites? Well,
very funny. What's up your butt?
Oh.
I think Cheapy and I have a lot of the same favorites this year.
I'm sure you do. My list is probably the most different. Only because I may have played the least, but...
I have 2 games on my list.
Wombat, why don't you tell us about Skyrim Remastered Edition?
Not on my list.
We need to figure out a format for this. I have it. I have the best idea.
I made a top 5.
Can we do like a bingo where we call out the games and...
If it's on if it's on your list, you have to say where it ranks and then give a little thing about it.
Okay, I didn't rank mine. I have like 1 or 2 that I think are my favorite, but
well, how long is your list then?
Wouldn't you like to know? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on my list.
Wow, it's a long list.
Wow.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I think you just need to go through your list.
Okay,
I have come ill-prepared for this, I will say that.
Well, you named a few already.
Yes.
You said Forza Horizon 3, which, yes, is amazing. The Blizzard Mountain add-on is also very good. I haven't played that much of it, but that was a good idea to to make the snow mountains and let you drive in them. A big shocker there. So yes, that is on my list. On my list of favorites in no particular order. What were the other ones that you yelled at very rudely?
Those are the only 2 I called out by name. Well, Overwatch was the other one.
Oh, Overwatch, yes, that is.
Okay. And then you have your other over game, which is on my list as well.
Overcooked.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. Okay, wait, I'm going to start moving these aside now because there's some that you didn't. Okay.
And you also have Call of Duty.
Okay.
And Titanfall 2.
Okay.
Yes. Titanfall 2 is also on my list.
Okay.
Titanfall 2, it might be my favorite game this year. Forza's really high up there for me as well. But just the uniqueness of what all was going on in that campaign in Titanfall 2 kind of like sets it apart for me.
Yep, I have it as on the top of my list as well. I put it as my favorite game of 2016. I really, really enjoyed that single player game. I wanted to keep playing it. I've actually been playing the multiplayer more often than I thought I would. Like when I don't have much time and I just kind of want to play something, I find myself playing the multiplayer in Titanfall 2.
And how you doing in those matches?
I never said I was good. I just said that I like to play it.
Do you like in the middle, the top?
Usually, yeah, because I do the checkpoint one, where me dying all the time isn't as important as me getting the checkpoints.
Okay.
Or defending the checkpoints.
So you get some points, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's also the other reason why I kind of like those kind of modes is it also lends itself to allow you to experiment a little more. Like if I find that maybe this gun just isn't the right gun for me, I don't, experimenting with a different gun in that kind of mode, and it turns out that I'm even worse with that gun, I don't feel guilty about experimenting like I would in a deathmatch.
Or in college.
Or in a college, yes. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Maybe?
I got you.
Yes. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it's just everything. That game is a very well put together package. I mean, it's not perfect. I think that, and it's funny because the Titanfall 1 had a similar thing where they explore an idea in the tutorial that they never quite fulfill. The idea of the virtual reality challenge course that they only have one of in the entire Titanfall 2, I think is sort of a weird omission, because it would be a perfect way to keep that game in your console longer if they had more of those time challenges.
Like Super Mario Maker.
Yes, like Super Mario Maker. But yeah, or like Batman. The Batman games have something like that.
Yep.
Was really where I was going.
Got
it. You know, but that being said, I like the characters. They stuck with me. Which in a game like this I find can be hard to do, even a giant robot. And yeah, all around a good game. So I put it as my number 1. And that is probably the only game on my top 5 list that's on your guys' list.
Maybe. So Wombat's got Skyrim on there.
I said I don't have Skyrim on my list.
3 times he's got it on there.
How many times? It's funny. I have my list. I should have taken a screenshot of it so I could have proved that it was never on my list. Because I don't consider it a game that came out this year.
So your number 2 is Dishonored 2, Wombat.
Yes, my number 2 is definitely Dishonored 2. That game is very good. And very long. If you're looking for a single player game that'll take 30 plus hours to finish, and you could probably spend more time playing it if you really wanted to like do it perfectly. But that's also kind of one of the pluses of this game, why it works, is you could be very meticulous or you could not be very meticulous. But and I really like the variations on assassinating in each level. The main target. I tried to do the alternative method on every level. There was only one level where I didn't, and it was really mostly due to an accident than anything else. And I just didn't feel like going back. So, no, that game. I mean, the atmosphere is great. The magic, whatever, how that all works is really cool. Finding what technique to use on each area, and just the different weapons and upgrading things and finding all the hidden knickknacks. I mean, that's a game that's right up Shipwreck's alley. Finding all the whatever they are, the bone charms. I mean, that could be the whole game. And I would probably still would have put it in the same spot on my list.
I should play
I'll get around to playing this at some point.
Yeah,
finding all the runes and the bone charms is like that in itself is half the game and half the fun. So, and it is a fun game. It's just, you know, every level is its own open world, yet it's also its own set piece. It works.
Nice.
So,
So what other games is Wombat? Oh, I know. Gears of War.
I didn't put Gears of War on my list. It would have been number 6. But I only did a top 5.
Ratchet and Clank?
I did put Ratchet and Clank on my list.
Got it.
Good one, Chip.
The last 3 are really all tied for 3rd. But Ratchet and Clank, which is the game I've been playing
all
the most.
remasters.
No. And by the way, you could probably hear my daughter crying, so I apologize in advance.
She doesn't like your list?
She doesn't like my list. She doesn't like that it's bedtime on Girl Scout night. Anyway. Yes, Ratchet and Clank, which both of you guys played.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't play all the way through it. I think it's excellent, but I just didn't get all the way through it, so it did not make the list that I did not write down here.
It's an excellent game. I didn't. It's a. Sorry, I'm being quite distracted in my house. Shipwreck, why don't you talk about a game for a second?
Okay. Well, my top would be Titanfall 2. I think number 2 would be Forza Horizon 3, which I'm not a racing car guy, but that game is just, it's got so many icons on a map to mark off.
Oh yeah.
That's right up my alley. And I have it running on my my PC now. I got a new graphics card.
Nice.
I went with the GeForce, the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060.
Oh, did we already finish our favorite games?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I know it's not the fanciest of chips, but it's so much faster than my 670 that I had before.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was great. I just plugged that sucker in, and It was so easy. Everything works. Everything's great. I was so happy. Like, there's been no issues so far with this thing.
Right.
You talking about Roller Coaster Tycoon?
He's talking about putting his graphics.
No, I'm talking
card
about Forza because I'm able to play it now on the PC as well, and it looks fantastic on PC. I'm still playing everything at 1080p because that's what my screen is. That's what my projector is. It just makes sense. And even with my old i5 processor, Wombat loves hearing all these terms, by the way. You see, Wombat, I have the i5 3550.
That's
that an Intel processor?
That is.
I know.
That's number 2 on his list. Processor.
Even with that, like, I can set it to high settings and it'll drop below 60 frames per second, but it's still totally playable. So yeah, Forza is definitely number 2 for me, and then number 3, I think it's Call of Duty. That game was it's just gorgeous. The scenarios were fun. I liked doing all the side mission, like dogfighting stuff and the shipboarding. The story was great too. Like, you could understand it. You cared about the characters.
I'm gonna buy I'm waiting the Legacy Edition. I want to get the remastered version as well. So I'm just not quite sure what my price point should be on that. It's been down to $43 with the socks at Best Buy.
I saw that. Yeah, I thought about that too, and I'm like, it might go down more.
I mean, it will eventually, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not getting the socks, but same with Titanfall. And that's been cheap too. I don't know why. I should probably just buy that.
I got Titanfall for, I got that for $30 and I didn't regret it.
Yeah.
Did you play? Yeah, you played Titanfall.
Yeah, I finished it. I rented it from Redbox. Both those games I Redbox, but I haven't tried the multiplayer for either of them. I'd like to do that. So I have 3 games on my list that you guys have not picked. How about you, Wombat?
Oh, I know one of them.
What's another one of my picks?
No, I know another one of Cheapy's. Soccer cars.
It's not.
It's not?
But I did like soccer cars a lot. The problem.
Wait, that's a real game?
Rocket League.
Oh, I get it. I'm stupid.
I did.
Sorry.
I played Rocket League when it came out, and I thought I was good, but then I stopped playing.
That game came out this year?
It was earlier this year, I guess, right?
Wow. It came out on consoles, I think, at least this year.
Yeah, PlayStation. When was it placed a PS Plus game? Was that really this year? Huh. I felt like that was a game from last year. Anyway,
or maybe it came out on, I don't know. I saw it on a list
Xbox
here.
this year.
Yeah, Xbox this year.
Yeah, it was PlayStation last year. Xbox this year.
Okay, I'm not nuts then. Okay.
Well, you are, but
for different reasons.
Yeah. No, Rocket League I don't have on there. But Wombat would consider them pretentious indie garbage.
Oh, it's Rez.
Nope.
No?
Nope. I like Rez, but it's not on there.
What was that game? Firewatch?
We have one.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
I liked Firewatch. I still remember playing that. It was interesting.
Oh, I remember playing it as well.
I know. We had a good time talking about how much you didn't like it.
Well,
I enjoyed it. It stuck with me.
Great sense of tension in that game.
Maybe unfulfilled, maybe fulfilled. I don't know. It stuck with me, that game.
It was fulfilled in a. I still don't want to spoil it because then nobody will play it. But it was fulfilled in a way that it had an ending.
I finished it.
Fine.
Hey, look, I didn't finish that many games in 2016. So if I finished the game, I gave it special consideration. I mean, you basically made my list overall.
Did you put No Man's Sky on your list?
I did not.
Oh, okay. Me neither. One of 2 games that I bought on release day in 2016, which says a lot about 2016, that there were only 2 games I bought on release day, and neither one of them made my list, which also says a lot about 2016.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I bought The Division on launch day.
Okay.
And I bought No Man's Sky on launch day, and neither one of them made my list. Both were sort of disappointing.
How many more are on your list that we have not talked about?
I have 2 more games on my list because we touched on Ratchet and Clank. If you've played any of the Ratchet and Clank games, this is like the other Ratchet and Clank games, just on the PlayStation 4, so it's shiny and amazing and a whole lot of fun, and it's just a nice, fast game. Like, everything just moves so fast. I like it.
Yeah.
Sleek. Yeah.
It's high end.
High end. Very much so. So I have 2 more games.
Oh.
Here's what I'll say. One is technically a sequel, we'll say. And the other is an indie game.
Technically a sequel. Shiv, what does that even mean?
Is that Disney Crossy Road?
No, it is not Disney Crossy Road.
Well,
although it probably should be. It might be my most played game of 2016.
What was the hint on the other one? On the second one?
It's an indie game.
An indie game. Oh.
I didn't know you played those.
Right. Now I'm really confused.
Well, it was made by a friend of ours.
I don't know. Why don't you just tell us?
Who's probably listening to the show and yelling at us.
We know
Like
we know a lot of people who make games.
I do know a lot of people that make games.
Just say the game already.
Headlander.
Oh, okay.
The game was great and weird.
You finished that game?
I got pretty much right up to the end. Probably could need like 15 minutes to sit down and just finish it off. But yeah, that game is fun. And again, weird and unique. And I kind of I love, that 70s sci-fi look I'm a huge fan of. And just the sound effects alone make that game worth playing. So, yeah, Headlander.
I see.
Check it out. I think it's on everything now.
You didn't get on my list unless if it was a game that could be finished and I didn't finish it, I didn't put it on my list.
Well, you're better than me.
That's my rule.
Am I the only one that played Uncharted 4?
I didn't finish it.
No, I played Uncharted 4. I'm at the end. Again, it's like I'll get to the very end of the game and if something will come up and I'll be like, well, I'll finish that last hour at another point.
That's my number 4. I have a lot of gripes with that game, but it's still a great experience to play through it.
If you say so.
It is. That's as far as a movie goes, that's the best movie you can play.
If you say so.
I'm at the Jeep part.
I'm not going to argue with you. You're entitled to that.
You're the Jeep part. The Jeep part's where it gets good.
Good. I'm ready. It's not too late.
It's a game I played.
All right. You don't like it that much, Ramat. We get it. Now you're just making Sony fans angry.
I know. No, that game is very good. It's a great looking game, and again, yes, I like the as a cinematic experience. It definitely works.
Drake's a great character.
Yes, his brother.
He's an asshole. He's also he serves a really good purpose in that game. Those 4 characters that they have in those games: Sully, Drake, the girl. What is her name? I completely forgot it at the moment. They're all very strong characters, which is something that video games have a tough time with.
And Star Wars movies.
Right. That also had the girl. She was also in that. Why can't I remember her name? It's upsetting me.
I know, it'll be fun. I'm not going to say anything because I don't remember it either. You still haven't guessed my last game that I have on my list here. My kind of a sequel? Kinda?
Star Wars Battlefront.
No. Although I did play that game in 2016, even though it was a 2015 release. I did like that game. It would have been nice if that game released with the content that's available for it now. But
right, instead of dragging it out.
Instead of dragging it out, it probably would have had a better reception than I think that game had. But what can you do?
Their way probably made more money, though.
I think so. Who knows?
I think they sold a lot of those.
Elena, that's her name.
They know. I was going to say they know, and yes, they did, but whatever.
What's the
You're
last?
right, Shipwreck. You're right.
Here, I'll give you. I got 2 games on my list still.
Okay.
They're both indie games.
Mm-hmm. We said Overcooked, right?
Yeah. One of them's kind of super.
Super Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Run. No. Super Hot.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I have not played that yet, but I want to.
Oh, it's so good. And they have a VR thing coming out on some system. I don't know. Which supposedly is very good. But that's a lot of fun. I mean, that's like playing in like a John Woo action movie, basically. Even with the rudimentary graphics. I thought I had a great time, and I finished it. And it was very exciting. Super hot. Super hot. Super hot. I can't believe neither of you guys play that?
It's always been too expensive for me.
It's fun. No, it's good.
Yeah.
You can finish it. It's like a reasonable length. You can finish it. Nice. The other game on my list, I don't think you guys even know what it is. If I said it, I think you probably never even heard of it. The Culling. Do you know The Culling?
Yeah, you've talked about it.
Okay, good. I played a lot of that, apparently. On Steam. Yeah, that's the Hunger Games, basically.
That's what I thought. Okay.
There's a certain level of tension in that game. It really does when, the game starts off just like the Hunger Games starts off, with everybody in their little spot and with nothing, and the horn sounds, and everybody's got to run to try to get the goodies. It does a really good job of creating that tension while you play. I definitely sweat while I play that game. I've never won, but I don't know. It's very enjoyable. It's coming to Xbox, right? Or is it on Xbox already? I remember.
I think it's on Xbox.
I should get that on Xbox.
Okay, I'll look into it.
I should. I'm saying. I'm talking to myself.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah. I don't see it though. I don't know. Anyway, The Culling. So I don't know. Out of all those games, what's my favorite overall? I gotta go with Overwatch, just because. God, I bought it on PC and Xbox and put a lot of time into both versions. It ties into it. I mean, I don't think you could beat Overwatch in this household.
I could.
Not in this household. It's the number one game. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Overwatch.
You did it. Finally, you achieved something worthwhile.
Finally, you pulled it off.
The number one game in the Cheapy household.
I'm sure it'll top most lists on most sites.
It should. I mean,
whatever.
They deserve
it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's that noise? A snowplow. Oh, the snowplow is coming up my street. Is it snowing
it's not even
already?
Snowing yet? No.
I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, does anybody have anything left on their list, or did we do it?
You still haven't guessed my last game.
Oh.
The pseudo sequel.
I don't know. I give up.
Shipwreck, anything?
World of Final Fantasy.
Ooh, close. Far Cry Primal.
Really?
Yeah, that game is awesome.
Oh, you didn't finish that though.
I played like 20 hours of that game or something ridiculous.
That's what happens.
I played enough of it to decide that it was one of the most fun games I played this year. Why do I have to finish?
No, you don't. And I know with those Far Cry games, it's hard to pace yourself, to know like how much story there's going to be, but you want to do like some of the side things, but eventually it gets just to be too much time spent in the game.
Exactly. But I enjoyed the time I spent with it until I got sidetracked.
Nice.
And I keep staring at it going, I'm going to get back to you. I'm going to get back to you.
That's not your number one though?
No. I said my number one was Titanfall 2.
Titanfall 2. And that was Shipwreck also.
Yeah.
Yep.
Titanfall 2 and Dishonored would be my second. And then Far Cry Primal, Headlander, and Ratchet and Clank are all tied for third.
Wow. I'm just glad I could represent Overwatch.
Yeah, but Far Cry Primal, I mean, it's getting cheap now, and there's no Far Cry game out this year, I believe. At least they haven't announced one yet. So if you're looking for, a Far Cry game and you've played the other ones and you've kind of passed on this because of the setting, now that it's cheap, I mean, I got it for like $30 also. I feel it's worth that much, but now I think you can find it for like 20, or I think it was down to 14 at one point. This game is like a no-brainer at $14. And there's no season pass, there's no DLC, there's no craziness. Just, they do make a version of the game that's like the premium version that has like a couple of extra weapons. You don't really need that. You just need like the vanilla version of the game, which is rare in itself. So, yeah, Far Cry Primal. It's an interesting idea, in a game style that at least Cheapy and I don't know how much you've played of the last two Far Cry games.
I played the Neon Dragon thingy.
Yeah. Far Cry 3 and 4 were two of the best games I played in the last couple of years before that.
I played a lot of just 3. That's the one with the Jeeps.
That's with the bro, with the fraternity bro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Far Cry 3 was great. Far Cry 4 was great. This is just a different setting, so it works in that sense. It's interesting as a more melee-oriented game. It kind of misses you miss something.
Guns.
But, yes, well, yeah, basically guns. But, in a word, I mean, if you want to put a word around it. But yeah, but it's still a very good game, and I highly recommend it.
I tried to dissuade you from buying that game. I remember.
I know, and you were wrong.
I guess so. Oh, well, what do I know?
It's got giant elephants in it, covered in hair.
You mentioned Planet Coaster. That's on my list as well.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
I bought a $250 graphic card so I could play.
So you could max out Planet Coaster?
I couldn't run it.
Oh, really?
Like on my 6 set. Yeah, I got to the point where my roller coasters, like my parks, were getting too big, and it would just constantly crash my car.
Oh, wow.
And I was running it on like the lowest settings, and I stuck this new card in there and just like pumped everything way up, and it's crazy, this game, like for no reason whatsoever. Like you can zoom in all the way in on these people that are in your park, and they have all individual features and everything.
Oh, I gotta get this game. Sounds fun.
It is fun. It's very fun.